Hi all, I'm Aryanil and I'm going to talk on the topic CBDT, which means the Central Board of Direct Taxes. I'll be talking about the powers of the CBDT and the powers of other authorities of income tax. So what is CBDT or Central Board of Direct Taxes? CBDT or Central Board of Direct Taxes is the authority who has the responsibility to administer laws related to direct taxes through the Department of Income Tax of India. In India, all the necessary inputs for the policy and planning are provided by the Central Board of Direct Taxes. Powers of the CBDT. We know it's a duty of Central Board of Direct Taxes or CBDT to ensure the proper formulation of policies which are related to levying of tax and collection of direct taxes and supervision of the whole functioning of the income tax department. So CBDT is vested with many powers. Some of them are: first one is to make rules. CBDT has the power to make rules for carrying out the purpose of the Income Tax Act. So according to the Income Tax Act, CBDT frames all the rules. Second point, to issue instructions. CBDT has the power to issue all the instructions and directions to other income tax authorities in order for the proper administration of the act. Third point, admitting claims for exemption. CBDT can issue orders in order to admit claims for exemptions, deductions, refund or relief. Like in income tax we have many deductions, to mention ATC to ATU. Some deductions we have already learned. So such deductions and in case exemptions, all these things can be admitted can be admitted only if they are accepted by CBDT. So CBDT has the power to admit claims for exemptions or deductions. Fourth one, relaxation of compliance requirements. Compliance requirements means some kind of requirements which are need to be met by the people. So the board can, but the CBDT or Central Board of Direct Taxes has the power to relax or give relaxations to at least some of the compliance requirements. Especially some compliance requirements they can relax, which include those deductions under section 14 to 59 and some deductions from section 88 to 80U, which we have studied. Fifth one, appointment. The Central Board of Direct Taxes can appoint income tax authorities who are below the rank of assistant commissioner or deputy commissioner. Only the CBDT can appoint income tax authorities below the rank of deputy commissioner or assistant commissioner. Sixth power is to authorize an IT authority. They authorize an IT authority, whoever it may be, to appoint all other executives or ministerial staff. That means all other executives or ministerial staff will be appointed by any IT authority who is given power by CBDT, and CBDT appoints all the IT authorities who are below the rank of assistant commissioner or deputy commissioner. Seventh point, to declare as company. CBDT has the power to declare any company, association of body, any institution as a company. CBDT has the power to declare any institution or association as a company. Eighth point, property under trust. So the CBDT has the power to issue directions that incomes from property held under trust shall not be included in the total income of the recipient. That means there are certain cases where the income of a property will be belonging to a trust and not to an individual person. So CBDT can issue directions that this property belongs to the trust and it doesn't come under the income of the person and it is under the trust. Ninth point, entertaining objections. CBDT can entertain all the objections regarding the detention of books of accounts. If any books of accounts are detained, the CBDT can give objections against it. 10th point, search and seizure. CBDT has power to, or CBDT can take all the necessary steps regarding search and seizure of books of accounts and all. 11th point, jurisdiction. CBDT or income CBDT can decide the jurisdiction of income tax authorities. Each income tax authority will be given some kind of jurisdiction or their area of control that will be decided by CBDT or the topmost authority of taxes, that is Central Board of Direct Taxes. PAN. 12th point, PAN. So CBDT prescribes wherever PAN card is necessary. They can tell in what all cases PAN card is amended as necessary thing. 13th point, TRP. So CBDT can frame a scheme in respect of tax return preparers. 14th point, return of income. It is the CBDT which prescribes or gives guidelines regarding the class of people by whom return of income have to be filed and TDS statement should be filed. So it is the duty of CBDT, or this is the power of CBDT to prescribe which all class of people have to file return of income. 15th point, authorized representatives. CBDT can prescribe the qualifications of other authorized representatives or executives in income tax. So all in all, CBDT has the power to frame all the laws and to ensure that these laws are functioning. These laws are followed by all properly and ensure the proper enforcement of the provisions of these laws. Powers of the Director General, Chief Commissioner and Commissioner. The first power to exercise powers. So if a power is assigned to an assessing officer in respect of any area or persons or incomes, that power can be exercised to or given to an additional director or additional commissioner or joint director. So in order to assign that power of an assessing officer to any additional director, that power will be given by the Director General or Chief Commissioner. Second one, search and seizure. So the Director General or Chief Commissioner can take all the steps regarding search and seizure of any property or any documents related thereto. Third point, transfer of case. The Director General or Chief Commissioner can transfer any of the case from the assessing officer's hands to any other assessing officer. They have the power to transfer the cases from one AO to any other assessing officer. Fourth one, requisition of books of account. The Director General or Chief Commissioner may make any order regarding to requisite books of accounts or any property which are in the custody of any officer. They may give orders for the requisition of books of accounts. Fifth point, inquiry. The Director General or Chief Commissioner are competent enough to make any inquiry under this act. Under the act means Income Tax Act. Sixth point, notice for reassessment. So the Chief Commissioner has the authority to sanction issue of notice for reassessment. After one assessment, there may be cases which require reassessment, which comes under section 148, which are after the expiry of 4 years from the end of relevant assessment years. In case reassessment is necessary, that notice for reassessment will be given by the Director General or Chief Commissioner. Seventh point, interest payable on refunds. So Chief Commissioner or Commissioner may decide the exclusion days for the calculation of interest payable by the government in case of delayed payment. 8th point, set off of refund. So Chief Commissioner or Commissioner can order to set off any amount to be refunded against the sum which are remaining pending or remaining to be paid. So they can so the Chief Commissioner or Commissioner can order for the set off of the sum. 9th point, modifying orders. So the Commissioner will have the power to issue orders to enhance or modify the assessment, or to cancel the assessments, or to direct a fresh assessment again. So these orders can be modified by a Commissioner or Director General or Chief Commissioner. 10th point, revised order. So Chief Commissioner or Director General has the power to pass, the Commissioner actually has the power to pass revised orders in certain cases whichever are necessary. 11th point, reduce penalty. So the Commissioner can reduce or waive off a penalty if required which is imposed on to a person. Mostly a penalty on the concealment of an income. Concealment means if any person has hidden their actual income, so they'll be given a penalty. So that penalty also can be reduced if a commissioner orders for it, or a commissioner approves for it. 12th point, concealed income exceeds 5 lakhs. The Director General or Chief Commissioner has the power to approve the order for reduction of penalty, which is coming under section 271 C. So the penalty which is coming under the section 271 1C is the concealment of income which exceeds 5 lakhs. So the Director General or Chief Commissioner can reduce the penalty amount under this section issued by the Commissioner. Okay, if the amount exceeds 5 lakh and still the person has concealed that income, in that case the Director General or Chief Commissioner has the power to approve or reduce the penalty amount. 13th point, attaching property. For issuing any orders, the assessing officer for issuing any orders related to attaching of property, the assessing officer has to take the prior approval of the Director General of Chief Commissioner or Commissioner. 14th point, appointment. The Chief Commissioner or Director General may appoint all the income tax authorities who are coming below the rank of an assistant commissioner or a deputy commissioner. 15th point, appoint staff. So the Director General or Chief Commissioner and Commissioner can appoint executives and all other ministerial staff. Powers of Joint Commissioner, Assistant Director or Deputy Director and Assessing Officer. First one, to call for information. They all have the powers to call for information under section 133. Any information which is related to income and which is related to taxes can be assessed by these officers. Second, enter any place for survey. They are empowered to take any place within their power or jurisdiction to make any survey. Registers. They may inspect and take copies of any register of their members. Third, enter any building for information. These officers have the power to enter any building or place under their control. So each assessing officer will be having their own jurisdiction or power, place of power of their purpose, and in that place they can go and collect any information. 4. The power to inspect books of accounts. 5th point, to make enquiry. Joint Commissioner is competent to make any enquiry under the IT Act. The Joint Commissioner has the power to make enquiry and to know any information. 6th point, serve notice for enquiry. The assessing officer has the power to serve notice under section 142 to section 148 for making enquiry before assessment. 7th point, make assessment. The assessing officer have the power to make assessment under section 143, 144 and 147. 8th point, examine records. A joint commissioner may call for and is powered to examine all the record of cases whose assessment is pending. So all the pending assessment cases can be assessed by the Joint Commissioner. 9th point, power of court. The Joint Commissioner or Assessing Officer have the same powers which are vested in the court under the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. So the same powers of court is vested with the joint commissioner or assessing officer too. 10 point. Concealment of income. The assistant director or deputy director is competent enough to exercise all powers under section 131 if they suspect any concealment of income. Powers of commissioner. Appeals. Power of the court. The commissioner has the same power which are vested with the court under the Civil Procedure Code 1908. Second, call for information. The commissioner has the power to call for any information which are required by them. Third point, to inspect registers. The commissioner may inspect and take a copy of any register of members. Fourth point, alter assessment order. The commissioner may confirm, reduce, enhance an order of assessment. Fifth point, reduce penalty. The commissioner may confirm, cancel, or reduce any penalty. Next heading, Inspectors of Income Tax. Who appoint the inspectors of income tax? The inspectors of the income tax or the income tax inspectors are appointed by the Commissioner of Income Tax. Tax Recovery Officer. The tax recovery officer means any income tax officer who is authorized by the Chief Commissioner of Income Tax to exercise the powers of tax recovery officer. Powers of the income tax authorities relating to search and seizure. So what are the powers of income tax authorities for searching and seizing? So entering and searching the premises. Income tax authorities can enter and search any premises only when they have a reason to believe that. First point, if they believe that any person has omitted or failed to produce books of accounts or documents as required by summons or notice. That is, the income tax has asked any person to submit their notes or summon their documents or accounts, but the person has failed to do it. In that case, the income tax authority has the power to search and seize the books. Second point, any person has in possession of any money, bullion, jewelry or other valuable articles which have not been disclosed for the purpose of income tax. So this undisclosed money will be black money. Many people will be, we have seen cases that many people will be having huge amount of money in their homes. Through illegal business or something, they will be having huge amount of money which they keep hidden in their homes. We have seen many cases in movies. So income tax authorities can come to their place and raid for it. So in that case, the income tax authorities can search and seize those properties. That is, they can enter and search any building. They can break open the lock of any book door, box, etc. Only thing is that they have to bring a notice with them. In that they will be showing their power card, everything, and they'll raid the place. They can also search any person in the building. Also, if they find any books of accounts, they can seize those also. They can place marks of identification on any books of accounts if needed. They can also request any person to supply such electronic information. So these all are the powers of income tax authorities relating to search and seizure. So thank you.